Funding for Shaperillis is provided by
Squarespace, the sponsor of today's video. Alright, before we start, this is a friendly reminder that if you guys get my second channel, Shape Classic, to 100,000 subscribers before the end of 2024, then I will review The Bad Guys. It's halfway through the year and you're only halfway there. You've been slacking. I guess you really don't want it, huh? End of 2024. Let's see what you got. Alright, video time now. Well, it's happening, I guess. Oh, golly gee, we sure are getting Shrek 5 in 2 years. I mean, we already knew the movie was coming, but, you know, movie studios can say a lot of things are coming. It's another thing for them to actually lock in a release date and confirm the return of the entire cast. So, yep, Shrek 5. Normally I don't make reaction videos to movie announcements, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized there's actually a lot to say about the information we've been given, and the concept of making a Shrek 5 in general. I'd say my reaction to this movie coming out is a bit complicated. That's because 2 years ago, I would have been all for it thanks to a little movie known as Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. That was emblematic of DreamWorks locking the f*** in and saying, let's treat the Shrek franchise with some goddamn respect and give it some of the most absolutely stunning 3D animation ever, while also telling a shockingly mature and compelling story you wouldn't expect. It breathed new life into the Shrek universe, and I think we all kind of rode that high for a while and thought, man, if Puss in Boots 2 is that good, imagine how amazing Shrek 5 is gonna be. But nowadays, I'm not as blindly optimistic about this movie. And I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. The reason I'm more skeptical about it is single-handedly because of Kung Fu Panda 4. There's been a lot of talk behind the scenes about how DreamWorks doesn't really see this franchise as an intelligent and somewhat boundary-pushing saga anymore, and they would rather have it become a fun gag series. I'm not gonna get too into that here, it's not really the subject of the video. But basically, if DreamWorks doesn't see value in making a Kung Fu Panda installment special, both by not really evolving the animation style and also not really giving the writing the thought and care that was put into the original trilogy, well then, what hope does Shrek have? Despite the series' emotional moments, Shrek generally took itself even less seriously than Kung Fu Panda. Not that Kung Fu Panda was the most serious thing in the world, but they committed to giving us legit fantastic action scenes and compelling arcs for their villains. Shrek was always mainly a comedy series with entertaining but less layered villains than Kung Fu Panda. Plus, unlike Kung Fu Panda, it's already had a bad installment under its belt, so we know just how immature and unfunny gag focused this series can get. I don't know if this installment will be treated with the same reverence and care that went into 1, 2, and 4. It might solely just be a cash grab for DreamWorks. Which, like, yeah, obviously it's a cash grab. But I also don't really think they have an incentive to put that much artistic value into the film. But what about Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, you might ask? The bar has officially been raised for what we expect out of a Shrek installment. Yeah, but as long as it makes money, I don't think they really care what the quality of the movie is. Especially because this is not coming from the same creative team that brought us The Last Wish. With the announcement of the release date, it was also confirmed that the movie will be directed by Walt Dorn. Wow, he directed the 2 most recent Trolls movies. That's cool. I mean, that's whatever though. I haven't even seen the 3rd Trolls film, so maybe that's a masterpiece. And besides, I don't really put a lot of stock into the filmographies of DreamWorks directors, because the quality of their movies can vary drastically. Tom McGrath is behind the supremely legendary Megamind and the pretty solid Madagascar trilogy. And then he went on to make the Boss Baby movies. Great! Mike Mitchell directed the really strong original Send-Off to Shrek, Forever After. And then he did Kung Fu Panda 4, yay! I know both of those examples were directors skewing negative as time went on, but the point is, anyone at DreamWorks can make anything of any quality. There's a bird in my chimney. But the point is, anyone at DreamWorks can make anything of any quality. Don't hold their previous works against them, kids. What I'm more interested in is the fact that Walt Dorn was not only head of story on Shrek 4, but he was also the voice of Rumpelstiltskin. He has a significant history with this franchise, so I don't think he's a bad choice for the job. I just also don't really think we can glean anything about the movie's quality by its choice of director. Unless they went with Joel Crawford again, who made Last Wish. Finally, I wanted to talk about one last thing with this little teaser they gave us. Specifically the tagline and use of that classic song, All Star. I mean, I get it, I really do, that's the Shrek song, but leaning so heavily into it does make me a little worried about how self-referential this installment is gonna be. DreamWorks is keenly aware of the legacy Shrek has now, and specifically how much my generation adores the first two films. So I'm worried this movie is gonna have a ton of blatant, shameless nostalgia pandering. Like it'll open with Shrek coming out of the outhouse again as we hear a new cover of All Star, or maybe even just the same version of it. And I don't know, man, I just generally don't like that idea, but I can so easily picture a universe where it happens. It could just be a marketing thing, considering a Puss in Boots The Last Wish trailer also used All Star, but I don't know, it's way more heavily tied to Shrek, so I could see it popping up in the movie itself. Moreover, they absolutely know how iconic the holding out for a hero sequence is in Shrek 2. So, bolstered by the fact that they shamelessly and poorly brought all the villains back in Kung Fu Panda 4, my biggest fear is that they'll somehow revive the fairy godmother just so she can sing a song in the movie's climax. Because hey, nostalgia! That's what she did in the movie we all liked as kids! We live in the age of dead-end nostalgia pandering, my friends. DreamWorks is not immune to bringing classic characters or villains we loved back, even if it ignores all logic and basic continuity. There is a less than zero chance that the fairy godmother is coming back, and that terrifies me. I know this is a lot of speculation based on the use of one song in a short little teaser video, but I mean, that tagline really drives the point home, doesn't it? The All-Star returns. That's the main thesis of Shrek 5 that we have right now. It's about bringing back the funny haha All-Star Green meme man. Why are they bringing him back? What story is there to tell with him? I guess we'll see with time. This is about all I can say on the matter right now, based on the information we've been given. I'm cautiously optimistic. DreamWorks have been known to surprise us many a time, but I'm not holding my breath and expecting something on Last Wish's level. If I had to speculate on what the plot will be, yeah, I don't know, I'm pretty bad at that sort of thing. A lot of nostalgia pandering, like I said. Maybe the kids will grow up and act like modern teenagers, like there will be a magic mirror version of smartphones and they'll be on they phone a lot. I have no idea what fairy tale villain they could pull for this, but again, maybe they'll just bring back all the old villains through a magic twist in time or something. Cinderella 3 this shit, I don't know. I guess Puss could bring Kitty and Perito along for the ride, maybe. They can have some cute scenes where Perito talks to the dragon donkey babies, who I guess might also grow up. That's horrifying. I don't want to see that. Maybe they'll do what Despicable Me 4 did and the kids will just not grow up at all. I mean, I know that doesn't make any sense for the series, but again, I don't have full faith that they're going to be reverential to the ongoing story here. Yeah, that's all I got. We'll see if any of my predictions come true in 2 years, I guess. Overall, like I said, cautiously optimistic, but also not really expecting this to be anything spectacular or even that great. The more time passes, the more Last Wish really does seem like a fluke. I'm pretty excited for the wild robot at least. That looks really cool. But with Shrek 5, we'll have to wait and see how things turn out. It's too early to write it off completely, but it's also hard to see how you take this story forward from where it left off. And don't even get me started on the Donkey spinoff they're apparently making. Like, what is that even gonna be about? What conflict would Donkey specifically solve without involving Shrek? The reason Puss in Boots works as a protagonist is because he's an adventurer who can do inherently cool things. But Shrek and Donkey are domesticated family guys now, and it's a little hard to see a vision of what movie-worthy mission they could go on. Again, we'll wait and see. This could be good, this could be bad. I'm leaning mid, but I would be beyond thrilled if I was proven wrong. Anyway, now to build a website I can access on my mirror phone, which will probably exist in Shrek 5. Good thing I can do that with Squarespace, baby! Squarespace is an amazing online website builder that enables you to create beautiful websites for your business or personal hobby. Start a completely personalized website with the new guided design system, Squarespace Blueprint. There are so many professionally curated layout and styling options you can use to craft a unique online presence tailored to your brand or business, and optimized for every device. Easily launch your website and get discovered fast with integrated, optimized SEO tools, so you show up more often to more people and grow the way you want. Running a business is so easy with Squarespace thanks to their simple but powerful payment tools. Accept credit cards, PayPal, and Apple Pay. And in eligible countries, offer customers the option to buy now and pay later with Afterpay and ClearPay. These seamless checkout options allow you to easily sell exclusive content on your site. And so does the ability to to add a paywall to sell memberships or courses, or sell files your customers can download, like PDFs, music, or ebooks. Check out squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/ShadeForAList to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.